everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Adria and Jacqueline are here with me. I'm Heather, and hello to you out there watching. We're happy you're here. How'd everybody's weekend go?
It was good. It was busy. It was busy. I was with my family Friday, Saturday, Sunday for different events. So Friday, we celebrated all of the April birthdays in our family, which there's quite a bit of them. So we had like
minus 9 months. What's happening in your family?
I know, right? Exactly. It's like something's happening. So we had, a nice dinner and cakes and stuff for everybody that had April birthdays. And then the Saturday, we had a celebration for my aunt who turned 85 years old.
Nice.
Had a bunch of I met a bunch of her old friends because she moved to Oklahoma City. She's from the Welch, Oklahoma area, but she moved to Oklahoma City when she was like 19 years old, and she was not married, and she had an apartment, and she worked at the Capitol, and she met these other girls at the bus stop trying to get to the Capitol, and they all became friends. They were all around the same age, and they moved in together. And they met their husbands at like Fort Seal during dance night, and just hearing all the cool stories from when she was young, it was just really, really fun.
Yeah.
And so I got to meet all of her friends. And then we had a baby shower with that side of the family on Sunday for my cousin who's going to have a baby.
You were busy. Holy cow.
Yeah. And trying to fit all that in and, cleaning my house and then soccer coach and soccer games. And it's just a wild, full weekend, but it seemed long because it was so busy, and I liked that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is good.
Yeah.
See, for me, it doesn't seem long when it's super busy. For me, it seems long when I do nothing, and I love doing nothing. So this Sunday, I canceled everything on my calendar, canceled a hair appointment, everything. And I was like, I'm staying home and I'm doing nothing. I was wiped out, just exhausted. And so I didn't even go to church, which, we go to church and we volunteer every week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm too tired. I can't even open my eyes. Like my eyes were just like swollen. That's how tired I was. Just a lot of things have been happening lately. Like my aunt passed away last week, and so we're dealing with that too. But like just a whole bunch of stuff. So for me, it was a nice, relaxing, do nothing weekend, which I never get.
You need probably.
Yes, and I so needed it to just lay around and do nothing,
to recharge and all that kind of stuff.
So you're saying you didn't go to the Boys from Oklahoma concert, Heather?
I did not. I did not go. No, thank you. It would have been fun any other weekend, but not this weekend. I couldn't even get out of bed until like noon.
Really?
I just laid there. Yeah, I couldn't get out of bed. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I did. But Jacqueline mentioned the Boys from Oklahoma. They came to Stillwater, and how fun would it be to go? I would love to go ordinarily.
Yeah.
But they had thousands in line waiting to get in, just like last year. Look at all them cowboy hats. Everybody's so excited.
Oh, some cross-Canadian ragweed.
Yes. How fun.
So exciting.
Yeah.
They had excellent weather for this.
Yeah.
Everyone was worried it was going to be bad, but
thankfully it was not. I mean, and we had rain this weekend, but nothing's bad. No storms, which was great, which is not going to be the case this week, but
yes. Yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
We're going to be busy with the weather, but I'm so glad that they got to do this because you never know when you can schedule something in April in Oklahoma. Like the art fair is constantly rained out.
I know. I feel so bad.
And right. Every year, at least one day is rained out. So this is so great that they were able to do that. And also it really boosts the economy in Stillwater.
Yeah.
They said it's like getting a free month's pay.
Yeah.
For the entire town as of last year, at least. So they're waiting to find out the economic impact of this year. But people were traveling from different states just for this concert. So,
well, I can remember whenever I was in college, hearing of, cross-Canadian ragweed and all of these. In fact, they would come to our college and play in just little bars, and it would pack out then. And you would probably only get maybe like 100 or 200 people there. But they were so popular then. And then you kind of didn't really hear about them very often. And they came back. And then now, like last year, I mean, it was just all over my social media. I can't believe they're going to be here. The Turnpike Troubadours and all of that. I can't believe that. I mean, it was nuts how excited everybody was. And for them to come back for a second year and still have that much excitement, I thought that was really, really great.
And Jacqueline, you're a music girl. Did you get to go?
I didn't. I really wanted to, but tickets, they went immediately months ago. And so
yeah, it is popular.
The resale prices were a little steep for me.
Oh, how much were they?
They were a lot like those Thunder tickets you were looking at. So, yeah.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, about the Thunder playoff games coming up and how tickets are available today. Just a little preview of what we'll talk about in a bit. But first, prison games also start today. I think this is really cool. Do you remember
a cool story.
Out at recess when we were kids and, like tug of war for PE or whatever, different things like that. And let's race to the other end of the field, that kind of thing. That's what they're doing today in the prison games. It's like so relay races. Yeah. Well, they're flipping tires, but they're going to have all kinds of fun things. And for those who aren't necessarily athletic, they're also going to be doing trivia night and some more intellectual things too for those guys. And these guys are playing tug of war. So I think that's neat to get there.
They have 19 different events across 23 facilities.
Yeah, it's neat to get their brain stimulated like that and give them something else to do, to think about while they're there. So,
and they used to have the prison rodeos for a long time, and they were hugely popular. And that's what, according to the DOC, that's what a lot of the inmates enjoyed, was the competition and all of that. And then they did away with those in 2009, and they attempted to bring it back. The legislature attempted to bring it back, but it never happen. So now we have prison games where they compete, and they actually have a regional level. Like if they get past this, they can go to the regional level and actually win medals like gold, silver, and bronze. So
that's really cool.
They also have a singing competition
where they're going to sing the national anthem.
That's awesome.
Or where they sing, and the winner will sing the national anthem at the regional events. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
That is super cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I know the prison rodeo was wildly popular. It was a big event people really look forward to going to each year and supporting. And so I still really hope it comes back. But I love seeing this event.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun.
When we come back, we will be talking about those Thunder tickets that we were just previewing. We'll give you an idea of how much they might cost you after this. Welcome back to Around the Block. Okay, if you watched the re-entry of Artemis 2, it was so cool. Friday night at 7:07 p.m. on the dot, and they even said it's going to splash down at 7:07 p.m. exactly on time. How cool is that?
I love how the scientists and all of NASA got all of that stuff right.
Yes.
It's cool to see what the classic nerd be the superhero.
And then the boats were right there all ready to go, and they brought the astronauts out, and one of the very first people that got to meet them was an Oklahoman. Super cool. He is a 2005 graduate from Cushing High School. Laddie Aldridge made history getting ready to unseal the astronauts out of that what is it called? I can't think of the word.
Yeah, the
capsule.
Yeah, capsule.
Out of the capsule there. Yeah. So
he's like I can't remember a medical something or something other. That's basically one of the first people that check on them because they make sure that they're all okay and healthy and doing all right. And he was the first one to see them after they splashed down.
That's so neat.
I still think it's crazy that it took an hour and a half to get to them, which I know there's like a rough estimate on where they're going to hit. You've kind of zeroed it in, and they say it's going to take about 2 hours for those crews to get to them. But I still think it's crazy that it's like, you try to get as close as you can, and you're still an hour and a half away. I think that's just wild.
I know.
Because the ocean is so huge and
vast.
So
yeah, they were right on target. Super cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about Thunder playoff tickets. They go on sale today. They've been on sale since 10 a.m., so about an hour and 10 minutes right now as we speak. I was looking up prices this morning. You can go to okcthunder.com/tickets. Buy tickets or tickets?
Buy tickets.
Okay, so I went to that, and for the third, this is for conference play. For the third upper level, tickets are about $159, $157. So bring your binoculars if you want to go from up there. But yeah, like have you guys sat way up high like that before for a Thunder game?
I have, and I hate that I'm saying this, but I really don't enjoy it.
I can't see.
I get too nervous, and I can't.
Because the height
game, and and the whole time I feel like I'm gonna fall.
So
yeah, I don't
that
like
vertigo feeling.
Yeah. I don't like having tickets that high. Before they won the championship, you could get some decent tickets, for some good prices in certain areas. And we took Griffin for his birthday, and we were in the middle section. And then we took Dallas, my husband, for his birthday one year, and we were on the sides, like underneath the goal, essentially. And they were relatively inexpensive seats, and they were excellent. but that's the only couple of times that I've gone. I try not to. I worry like you. It's so high up, and it's like I want to be able to enjoy the game. But
yeah,
I also
it's
don't
easier
want
to watch it on TV at
Yeah,
that point.
exactly. Yeah,
watching it on TV.
but they still have. I mean, if you're willing to shell out the money, you can say I was there for a playoff game, a playoff victory. I mean, that's the cool part. Is getting to be in that atmosphere and see it all. So,
I mean, tickets will go up into the over $1,000 per seat, and people will be reselling their tickets and so forth for the good seats. But you can still go if you want to. If you've got better vision than I do, which I have terrible vision, you can get one of those top tier seats for around $150.
Yeah, some people too, they'll get on those Ticketmasters or those ticket websites and scour for hours to try to find the best deal.
Yeah,
in the best price. So
right.
I mean, that's determination. And if you're up for it, go for it.
Right. So the tickets that I looked at were for conference play later on, but Sunday, pardon me, they do play at 2:30 for the Western Conference, the 19th, April 19th, they do play. So those tickets are available. Well, you can buy all the tickets in advance. They just don't have a date on them yet because their opponent won't be decided until the play-in tournament starting tomorrow. So
yeah, I wonder who they're going to get. I'm excited.
We'll find out on Friday.
It feels like it was just, a couple of months ago when we were out doing a parade and sweating to death and, going experiencing all of that. It was so fun.
With millions of your best friends.
Yes. And the game 7, it was just so much fun. And I love that so much.
It's cool that you got to do that.
Yeah, but it feels like it was just, doesn't it feel like it was a short time ago?
Yeah, it
we're already back here.
Like a year ago.
I'm thinking more like 4 months. That's what it feels like to me. But.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about a new generation is reviving the iPod. I would love this. I loved my iPod. We'll talk about that coming up. Okay. Adrian and I like to work out together. We go to the gym, and I used to love my iPod so dearly. I had so many of them. And now there's a resurgence. People are buying aftermarket
It's like retro cool now,
Isn't that sad? Retro. I feel like it was just the other day.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 15 years ago.
I know. Do you remember the straps?
Yes.
People would put their
and you had the little thing, you'd stick it in the little
Yeah. So I had the long, skinny, rectangular one, but then I also had, do you remember those little tiny squares?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And I lost those. The Nano. Yes. I lost like 3 of those at the gym because I'd put it down on the bench when I'm changing or whatever after the workout. And then
you'd forget about it.
Forget all about it. It was so little. I lost so many of them that way.
I was telling Heather a story where I bought the little Nano one for my mom because she loves music, loves listening to music. But she only can listen. She listens to a CD in her car. And so she's not in her car. She can't listen to music. So I was like, okay, Mom, let's get with the new technology. And I bought her a Nano. And she's like, okay, here, you take it home with you and you fill it up with all this classical music that I want to listen to. And I can, take it everywhere. So I took it home and was downloading the music to put it on that Nano iPad and then completely forgot to do it. And it's still in my junk drawer 15 years later.
Well, look, what's old is new again.
Exactly. I'm totally giving it back to her when I see her next.
And whatever music's on there, you should give her that.
Yes.
Because then it should be like, oh, so this is what I could have listened to 15 years ago.
Yeah. I'm such a good daughter, right?
Right. Gosh. But that, remember
I can't
Walkmans?
believe. Yeah.
Cassette tape Walkmans. Then we had the CD. What were those called? The Walkman CD players or what?
Discman.
Is
that what it is? Discman.
Okay, yeah.
I've heard those are making a comeback too.
Probably.
Like everything that we listened to and we liked whenever we were, teenagers is now popular again.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy?
Do you remember all the times of having to get your cassette tape and put the pencil in and like curl it back up because it was all looped down, Oh
and try not to like mess it up to where it would skip or not skip, but scratch. Yeah.
Those were the days.
And I would have to sit there and listen to my favorite radio station to hear the song I wanted to record and then hit play record.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope I caught it, before the first couple of words got skipped over.
Yeah, I had so many mixtapes, and I would call the DJs. Would you call the DJs?
Yep.
And I would say, "Will you play Tricky by Run DMC?" Okay, yeah, I'll get it on there. Okay, but will you announce it in advance so I can be sure that I hit play record? He goes, "No, I'm not doing that."
I spent a couple of hours once on the phone the phone hotline trying to get a radio station to play some songs during, how they would have like Friday nights, they would have like request lines and play all this music as you're, I wasn't old enough, but a lot of people were probably getting ready to go out on Friday nights. And I would sit there in front of my radio and I was on there for hours and hours on my phone. And they finally picked up and was like, Kisser 93, whatever it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, will you play? And I can't even remember the song. But he was like, we played that an hour ago. And I was like, what?
Because you were on the phone.
Yeah. And I said, okay, hold on a second. I'm going to go ask my sister for another song. And I put the phone down and it had like it had the thing where you could like if you pushed it would hang up. It hung up on him.
Oh no. But that's cool that he was willing to hang on.
Yeah. Yeah. At least I think he was. He probably was like, click.
Probably. That's so cool. I remember those days well. Jacqueline, what kind of mixtapes did you make? Do you remember which, like, we built this city? That was always on my mixtape.
I was not a mixtape girl, but I do remember the first tape I got, and I unearthed it a few weeks ago. MC Hammer.
Nice.
Was my first tape.
Nice. My first CD ever was Ace of Base.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
My first CD was Firehouse.
Nice.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, man, this CD technology is so advanced. I cannot believe they could put this on a little disc.
I know.
And we can now play it. Like we can plug it. I had a little, like you plugged it in a cigarette lighter for your Discman. And your Discman would be able to play over your. I just thought that was the coolest
so
thing.
high tech.
Yeah,
it still kind of is. I'm still like, how they didn't come up with that technology? But I'm behind the times, obviously, as I am with most things. Hey, you guys know that I love like archaeology and discovering old treasures or fossils, whatever it may be. And in this case, the world's oldest octopus fossil isn't an octopus at all. Scientists say. I know.
How'd this get mixed up?
So scientists, they found evidence that a 300 million year old sea creature, look how cool that is previously thought to be the world's oldest octopus, is actually a nautilus relative.
Ooh. Okay.
Which those look like a really pretty shell, and then they have these like arms that come out like this, those nautilus shells. But the University of Reading zoology lecturer Thomas Clements led the research, which found that the fossil originally identified in 2000 had too many teeth to be an octopus.
Oh,
look at that thing!
Are nautilus living?
Oh yeah, they're the animals that live inside the shells.
Oh,
and they look like a giant snail shell.
Yes,
with this animal living inside. So the creature was found in Illinois and had puzzled scientists for years because it's much older than the next earliest known octopus. And the findings state that Guinness World Records will no longer list the specimen as the earliest known octopus.
When was it? What does it say? Whenever it was 300 million years ago? Is that what it is?
300 million years old. They found it in the year 2000 in Illinois because we were all underwater for a long time.
Well, yeah. So the closest octopus fossil was discovered how many years before that? Is that what you said?
No, this one dates back to 300 million years old. They thought it was the oldest octopus ever, but
they found one. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, it was just part of the nautilus family.
Okay.
I wonder if they were bummed by that, or if they were like, well, that's still cool, or if they were like,
Yeah, I feel like they were disappointed.
I don't know. Really? Well, I mean, obviously they were still studying it because they were fascinated with like this discovery. So they were still, 26 years later, and they're still looking into it to see if it actually could be an octopus. So I bet they were still studying it, Because normally when you're like, oh, hey, look what I found, and we'll celebrate it. And then you put it back in a little case and you put it in a museum and you don't worry about it anymore. But clearly they were like, I don't know.
Something just doesn't sit right.
Yes, this is not fitting for me. We need to check it out.
And the other scientists were like, we could have kept it as the Guinness World Record as the oldest octopus if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Thanks, jerk.
Right, exactly.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about a man's plight to keep his pet alligator right after this break. Hello. Okay, so I kind of find this a little bit sad. This man lost his pet alligator, 12 feet long, named Albert. It was confiscated and in the Buffalo area, and his name is Tony Cavallero. He sued the State Department of Environmental Conservation after officers seized his 12-foot alligator, Albert, because his license had expired in 2021 and they seized it in 2024. But he's like, this is my baby. The sad thing is now after 2 years, he's exhausted. He said, I'm exhausted. I don't have it in me anymore to fight for Albert.
Oh, no. What'd they do with Albert?
Well, he's currently with the Department of Environmental Conservation. So
at a zoo?
Yeah, to a Texas sanctuary.
Okay.
So he has been taken care of. And I'm sure Albert probably with his little pea-sized brain is like, this is amazing. You know, they bring food to me and I can socialize with other alligators.
and
who knows?
Probably has a much larger habitat.
Probably. Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would have never even thought about having a pet alligator, especially 12 feet. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I definitely, my brother and I ordered one in the mail, and you can have it sent to you in the mail.
Yeah, that's wrong. I hope they've done away with that. I know you were a kid when that happened.
I think Hafer Park is where my brother put it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so go to Hafer Park. Don't get in the water.
Don't get in the pond at Hafer Park. Wow. Okay. It's for today's Bizarre Holidays. We've got a few minutes here. International Plant Appreciation Day.
International Special Librarians Day.
National Make Lunch Count Day.
National Peach Cobbler Day.
National Scrabble Day.
And National Silly Earring Day.
I love that one. That's my favorite one today. Thank you so much for joining us. We're back tomorrow at 11. Bye-bye.